Hi y'all. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira and my channel is all about talking about new makeup, trying new makeup, but also finding new and exciting ways to be inspired by the makeup that you already own. If that sounds good to you, I hope you will like this video and subscribe. And today's video is all about the makeup in my collection that is on the chopping block. I did my very extensive makeup collection slash declutter videos in February of this year. If you have not seen them, you should watch them. They're epic. I will leave a card up below, above. So yeah, I did a huge makeup collection declutter video, well, multiple videos in February of last year, where I went through all of my makeup. I showed you guys on camera, and then I actually, as I was going through, I decluttered the things that I wanted to remove from my collection. And usually my process for declutters is I do them twice a year. I do them around the June-July mark, and then again at either the end of the year or around January, February. So basically like a 6 to 7 month rolling declutter. I had some items in my collection then that I was sort of eyeing and wasn't sure if I was going to keep. And I said to myself, and I said on camera, that if I didn't use them in a certain period of time, that they would be on the chopping block or they would be removed from my collection. There are things here that on top of that I've looked at and I've reconsidered, and then I wanted to talk to you guys about items that I'm just thinking aren't going to be sticking around. And I don't know if they will be decluttered. You know, my goal is to talk through them with you guys, maybe see about if I can get some use of them and reevaluate. But as of right now, it's not looking good for them. First up is the Urban Decay Stay Naked the Fix. And first off, guys, if you can hear noise, my window's open. I had to turn my air off because I didn't want the air being on in the video because it's quite loud, but it's warm, so I had to at least have my window open so I'm not like dripping in sweat. So if you hear cars going by, I apologize. But first up is the Stay Naked the Fix powder foundation. Now I bought this based on recommendations. People said it was a really good powder for sort of adding extra coverage while also setting your makeup. And I have used this a few times and I'm just kind of underwhelmed by it. And it's also a tad too, well, I guess it's not too bad. On my finger it looks quite light, and then when I blend it in, it looks pretty good. I just haven't been using these types of heavier powders on my face as of recently. I think if my makeup style and aesthetic was what it was back in the day, I would probably have gotten a lot of use out of this, which is a shame that it's, you know, I bought it and it's been used maybe twice. It's not a bad product. It's just not a product that I use. And so I'm thinking this is probably going to be going bye-bye. But the feeling of it is nice. It does add a little bit of, well, actually, I wouldn't say a little bit. I actually think it adds quite a bit of coverage, which is the thing that I dislike about it, is I don't want coverage on top of coverage. You know, I've got my foundation, I've got my concealer. This feels too heavy on top of those things, but I've also tried it on its own. And when I try it on its own, I feel like it doesn't give enough coverage. You see the dichotomy there, folks? So yeah, so I think this will be going bye-bye. And I will preface this by saying, guys, there's a lot of foundation and complexion products in this little chopping block video. I was actually surprised at the amount of like complexion things that I pulled out that I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be keeping that. I think it's that I'm bored with my foundation collection and I'm wanting to whittle it down, but also bring in newer things. And that tends to be the cycle with me with foundations, is that I purchase, you know, new foundations and then I sort of cycle through them, you know, and I get bored with certain ones and then declutter a bunch and then the cycle starts all over again. So next up on the chopping block is my Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I don't have any issues with this product other than the shade range. I have shade 11, which is supposedly for shades 290 to 310, I think. This is way too light. My shade in Fenty is between 290 and 300 depending on the time of year. This is too light for both of those shades. I don't know what they were thinking that this could cover that range of shades. I considered going up to shade 12, but this is my second one because I accidentally bought shade 10 and had to give it away. And then I bought shade 11 and it still doesn't work for me. So I just don't think me and Easy Drop are going to be friends because I don't want to purchase another one of these. You know what I mean? So this one will probably go bye-bye if I can't find, you know, some more use out for it. I just feel like it's too light, especially now in summer. Again, I wear sunscreen, but it's very hard to avoid getting any kind of, you know, color in your skin. And this just is like super light on me now. So yeah, I think it's probably gonna go. Next up is a foundation that, or rather a skin tint that I said, you know, I purchased, and then I purchased this around the time that I bought a bunch of skin tints. And this one just kind of fell by the wayside. I worn it twice and I wasn't wowed by it. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't like it wasn't something that blew my mind and made me want to reach for it again. It was very middle of the road for me. And so that is the Yves Saint Laurent Bare Look Tint. And this is their new line, you know, that's sort of supposed to be the more affordable skin, you know, foundation and complexion product range. Yeah, I don't reach for this, and I don't know if I will, because I said, you know, when I did my declutter, I'm like, I'm gonna try and reach for this more, guys. I'm gonna try and use it, and I just don't. I just don't, guys. And I'm rubbing it in here. As you can see, it's a little light for me now too. I bought this in the winter, and it's a little light for me now, so I don't think I'll get much use out of it during the summer months anyway. So yeah, this is on the chopping block. Next up is another powder foundation. This is more of a cream to powder foundation, and that is the Fashion Fair cream to powder foundation in Honey Child. And this, show you what it looks like. I bought this because I was really interested. Fashion Fair relaunched, and they relaunched exclusively in Sephora, and I was just really intrigued by trying some Fashion Fair, and you know, and this is what it looks like. It's a pretty good match for me. For the most part, it does oxidize a bit. I just wasn't wowed by this. Again, it kind of reminds me of that Yves Saint Laurent. It was like, I put it on and I was kind of like, it's a foundation. I don't think that it wears very well on me anyway. I get super oily with this and I feel like it breaks up a bit. So on top of the not being wowed by when I first applied it and the way that it wears, I would say this has a 100% chance of being decluttered. And the final complexion product in this little video here is the Merit, what is this called? The Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick in the shade Khaki. Now, I got this in PR, and I'll show you guys what it looks like here. It's very yellow. It does blend in quite nicely, and I think this would make a very good concealer for someone, just not for me. I'm not a huge foundation stick person, and this to me feels like it's not enough coverage for foundation, but it's too much coverage for concealer. Does that make sense? Like it feels heavy under my eyes, but I don't feel like it gives me any coverage on my face. That's kind of how I feel about this. It's just not the biz for me, and I feel like actually you can kind of see here it oxidizes just the tiniest bit as well. So yeah, I tried to make this work. I tried to use it as a foundation, I tried to use it as a concealer, and I just wasn't loving it. So this will be decluttered. Next up is an OG Nars, beautiful packaging, OG Nars eyeshadow palette. This is the Afterglow eyeshadow palette, and this was a limited edition item, and I almost decluttered this and then I kept it. Oh, see, now I'm looking at the shades and I'm like, look at this. This is what happens with this palette, is that I open it up, I look at it, I touch the shades, and then I don't want to declutter it, but I don't use it. And it's just like it's an exercise in futility. Like, why am I doing this to myself? Here I go. I'm swatching, guys, I'm swatching. Ooh, I think I should get rid of it, but I don't know. This is how I struggle with this. This is why this has lasted as long as it has. It has a hold on me, and it's wrong because I don't use it, you know. And I will say that the times that I have used it, I haven't loved the formula in this. I feel like the shades are a little, at least the shimmers are a little thin. But the satins I really love. So yeah, this is on the chopping block. Maybe. Okay. I originally decluttered this and then I showed you guys that I had taken it out of declutter. And then when I did that, I was like, why the hell did I do this? I'm not going to use this. This is a stupid palette from Ulta. It's from their Black Widow collection when the Black Widow film was supposed to come out and then it didn't come out because of the Rona. And then this was sitting in the Ulta like section forever and it took them forever to put it on sale. And I was like, I'll buy it when it's on sale because I really like the colors. And then I bought it and then I never used it. And then I was going to declutter it, and then I looked at it and was like, oh, it's pretty. And then I didn't declutter it, and then I never used it. So it's getting decluttered for real this time. For real. I'm doing it. This one is a recent addition, and you guys might be shocked by this, but if you watched my review, you're probably not shocked by this. It's the Artist Couture Supreme Mauves. Now, let me preface this. I said in that video that the shimmers in here were hella lackluster, and they are. You also get a crap ton of hard pan with them. The mattes are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the metallics in this palette, which are what make this palette. You know, all of these pretty shades, these are the metallics, you know. They're crap. They're crappy, and they're not the quality that I expected from Artist Couture. Especially, I have their Supreme Nudes palette. It's one of my favorites, if not my favorite, neutral palette. Why is that one amazing and this one crap? I would like to know. I just feel like the formula on this is just not the biz, people. Not biz. I have this item that, again, I was going to declutter and then I changed my mind and I feel like I should just do it. It's really, I talked about how much I enjoy Too Faced complexion products, like their, you know, their bronzers and their, you know, blushes and things like that. And that's true. But this one for me, and this is the Too Faced Pineapple Paradise Strobing Bronzer in Pineapple Sun. The issue for me with this is I don't dislike the shades. It's just that I don't feel like it picks up really well. Like, I don't know if I have a bum one or it's just hard pan, but I have a really hard time picking up the product. So this one picks up fine, but this one I have to really dig my brush in and I don't get a lot on my hand. Like, you'll see, I don't get a whole lot. Like, it's there, but most of it's still on my finger. So I just, for me, the usability factor of this is the reason why I'm decluttering it. I think it's a beautiful strobing powder. The colors are beautiful. It still smells faintly of pineapple, but not by much. So even that, like, kind of ruins it because it doesn't even smell delicious anymore. So yeah, this is on the chopping block. Alright guys, so that is everything that's currently on the chopping block. And that's not to say that other things will not be decluttered later on, but these are the items that I have pulled out of my collection that I know for a fact probably won't survive the next declutter and that I really want to focus on seeing, really thinking about and going, okay, make a decision, make a choice. A lot of the decision has already been made with a lot of these things. There's a couple of things like the Nars palette that I'm kind of iffy about. I'm also a little iffy about yeah, I'm kind of iffy about that too. I'm iffy about the Urban Decay powder. Why am I iffy about the Urban Decay powder? I never use it. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to mention before I go, because I brought this over here and then again I started waffling about it and now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So this is also on the chopping block and that is my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter Mini. And I have it in the shade 4.5 medium. And the reason this is on the chopping block is that it's just too light for me. I don't reach for it. It's like I needed the 5. I wish that they had offered more shades in the mini size. They have a very limited range in the mini size. And I'm not spending $44 on a full size of this product. I would never do that anyway. It's a nice product, but it's not one that's like a must-have in my collection. And for that reason, I'm decluttering this. And also because of the shade, it's like I can make it work, but I don't want to have to make it work, especially since it's a product that I don't use regularly. That doesn't having to make it work doesn't make me want to reach for it. You know what I mean? So yeah, this one I've made the choice, will be decluttered because the shade is just not for me. Now that is officially everything that is on the chopping block. Again, this is not everything that will be decluttered. There may be more items. There may not be. I don't know yet. We'll know at the, when I decide to do my declutter. I'm debating on if I'm going to do my mid-year declutter besides these items, because of the fact that I was on a 3-month no buy. So not a whole lot new has come into my collection. And I'm pretty happy with the majority of the makeup that I already own. So for me, I don't necessarily know if it's I don't think it's necessary to go through everything all over again and pull out things that to declutter, because there's not necessarily anything that I want to declutter. Like I'm pretty happy with what I've kept for the most part outside of these items. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing that June, July declutter. I might just wait till the end of the year and do a declutter then. It's a little bit different for me now because I'm not buying as much. That may change. I might wind up buying a bunch of stuff, between now and the end of the year, and then have a crap ton to get rid of, or, which I hope not, because that's just wasting money. I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff and then have a bunch of things to declutter. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking now, is these are going to be the items that leave my collection, but what remains will remain. So yeah. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, what's on the chopping block in your collection? Are there items that you are decluttering or thinking of decluttering? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you are not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.